Hey guys, it's Cthulthu here. Today's the 27th of February, and here I am at the Duel Arena staking. So since the 22nd of February, I've been staking a little bit. In total, I've had 5 dueling sessions. By session, I mean between 1 minute to 1 hour. That's what I'm calling it anyway. So yeah, 5 dueling sessions. Sometimes I only stake once in that day. Other times I duel a lot more. I stake a lot more. There was actually one day, I think it was my second day, I only staked once. And I won 10 mil, and I thought, well, that's it. I'll just leave it at that. I'm 10 mil up. Why bother trying to lose it, basically, because that is what's going to happen. I'm probably going to lose it and waste my time. So yeah, one day I only staked 10 mil, but other times I go on for longer. For example, once I won 10 mil again, and I decided to keep on going. I lost the next 2 stakes, 5 mil each, so I was back to 0. And then I won 20 mil, and I thought, yep, there you go. I've just lost. I made 10 mil. I lost 10 mil. I've won 20 mil. Let's leave it at that. Let's walk away. In total, from those 5 staking sessions, I've won 176 mil altogether. What I do is I go to the Duel Arena when I feel like staking, and I only take 100 mil out. That's going to be my limit. And yeah, I also bring out anti-scam gear as well. You bring all your best gear along with you, so that if someone tries to scam you, you can anti-scam basically. For example, lots of people like to enable plate bodies in their duels. Who knows if they're trying to legitimately do it, but in most cases I think of it as a scam, because when I think of a boxing duel, I think of absolutely nothing equipped. So I think of them as scams. And when someone tries to do it to me, then instead of just declining it, I'm going to want to fight them and beat them at their own game. So if they think they've got the better of me because they've enabled plate bodies and they have like a Bandos plate or something, I'm going to bring out a Vesta plate body and I'm going to destroy them. All these boxing attack styles are crush, so Vesta chain body is the best because it's got the best crush defense bonus, and it also has attacking bonuses to a boot, so it is definitely the best top you can wear. So yeah, if there are any scammers out there trying to scam you, try to anti-scam, trying to beat them at their own game. So yeah, talking about staking exactly though, the only thing you can really do skill wise is try and get the first hit in, though in 99% of matches, at least in my opinion, getting the first hit doesn't matter at all. Very rarely do fights go into really close stages. Usually they're decided by more than a single punch. I mean, obviously it's nice to get the first punch in, especially if it's hit. It makes you feel a bit better or feel a little bit less nervous about it. But ultimately it won't be a game winner basically. Also, I see a lot of people liking changing their attack styles. If you've been watching these videos closely, you'll have noticed I don't do that. People like to change from punching to kicking. I have no idea what punch they're using. Myself, I'm only using accurate punches. I feel that if those attack styles do have any difference, and I reckon they do have the smallest of differences, then I'd rather go for accuracy than hitting like a few hits extra with strength or blocking. Yeah, I think accuracy is the way to go, but I definitely don't switch like a lot of people do, because I think it's a waste of time and I don't think it makes any difference. So yeah, I am 175 mil up. That does not mean I'm lucky at all. I have probably won just as much as I've lost. It's all about knowing when to stake high and when to stake low. For example, if you're on a winning streak, don't stake higher and higher and higher, otherwise eventually you will lose. And if you're betting higher and higher, then you're going to undo all the good work you've done. Whereas if you're on a losing streak, I always double my money. Well, I don't actually double it, as in completely double it from say 5 to 10 mil. But if I lose 5 mil, I look for a higher stake. So if someone says 20 mil, then I'll go for that 20 mil. And if I lose that 20 mil, well then hopefully someone will say 50 mil, and I'll stake them for 50 mil. Basically, I like to increase my how much I stake through a losing streak. Maybe not just one loss. If I lose once, then I'll just try to regain it by staking the same amount. But if I lose more than twice, then I try to increase the stakes, because I think it gives me a better chance of winning, because obviously you can't just keep losing just like you can't keep winning. eventually you have to win one, and as long as you have the money to sustain you through a losing streak, then you're going to make your money back and hopefully a good profit as well. So that's how I've been playing it. Eventually you have to win, and eventually I do win, and when I do win, every single time I stake high, I win. For example, I've only staked 50 mil twice, and I won them both. And the next biggest stake was 40 mil, and I won that one. The biggest stake I've lost is 25 mil, I think. So yeah, it's not about winning more or losing more. It's about knowing when to stake big and knowing when to stake low. But yeah, that is eventually the way you get cleaned. If you keep increasing the amount that you bet on a losing streak, eventually you will get cleaned if you don't have money to sustain a losing streak. So you have to think about it. You have to think about it just as in just going onto an Excel spreadsheet and just planning it in ahead. Say that you stake a certain amount initially, then you stake that same amount just to try and make it back, and then if you lose both those stakes, then you keep doubling it. Work out how many stakes you can afford to lose in a row before you get into critical state, and if it takes enough stakes for you to get to that amount, then do it. I mean, for example, the chances of you losing 10 stakes in a row are highly unlikely. So plan it out so that you have the money to sustain a losing streak for 10 matches. And if you just happen to lose all 10 of those and then you run out of money, well then it just wasn't your day, you were unlucky, it's time to quit RuneScape. But most cases, often than not, you're not going to, lose that many in a row. Certainly hasn't happened to me. I don't think I've lost any more than 2 in a row maybe. I think 3 was probably my maximum. 3 losses, my maximum so far. Anyway, you're currently watching my last duel of the day. In fact, this was the last duel before I started making this video. It's a stake that I didn't even watch because as soon as I started it, and by starting it I obviously mean I punched him, I went to the toilet, so I didn't actually see this, and by the time I came back the stake was over and I was 50 mil up. Before this stake I was actually only 1 mil up, but by the end of the stake I was 50 mil up. So altogether 160M victories for me, staking profit. That's the end of the video, guys, so thank you for watching. Until next time, see you guys.